So how's everybody tonight? Everybody good?
Hey, Lulu.
Good to
Good
see you
to
all.
see you.
Good to see you all. So so it's good to see everybody. And before we get started, I wonder if there is anybody here for the first time that's never been here before. If you'd like to unmute yourself and just let us know you're here, where you're from, and does that say Ellen?
Oh, Etchen, hi.
Oh, Etchen. Hi, Etchen.
Hi, yes, hi. It's like Gretchen without the gur.
Oh, Gretchen
Is how
without
you
the
pronounce
gur.
it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm new speaking out. I've been in the Facebook group for a while. I post pictures of my food, and I've listened to all the Zoom calls. And I lost 10 pounds in like two months or something. I've been doing it your way, right from the start. It's just been fantastic. And I recognize everybody from, it's so cool to see everybody.
Well, it's cool to have you here. So
well, thank you.
I'm glad you decided to show up.
Thank you.
And welcome.
Good to be here.
Well, welcome back to everybody that's been here before. Nicole, I understand you're going to co-host?
I sure can.
Excellent. Thank you. So we had a topic picked out for tonight, but it almost seems like very appropriate to have this be about Thanksgiving. Although, it's always about, the topic was talking about like your rock bottom, the feelings and your experience that you were feeling when you decided like enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of feeling like this. I'm gonna not just talk the talk, I'm gonna walk the walk, right? So that can be the topic tonight, but we can also talk about Thanksgiving because, if we remember that bottom that we came from, that was extremely an unpleasant way to live, and now we have more clarity, more brightness. We just feeling good about ourselves. Just feels good. We're taking good care of ourselves. It just feels terrific. And one Thanksgiving can just snatch that away. For me anyway, I know it can snatch it away. So I'm very thankful. So I will celebrate my thankfulness of this food plan in this group on Thanksgiving. That's what I'm going to do instead of eat. I think a lot of people know my story already about my rock bottom. I was in my mid-50s, my 60s were right around the corner. It wasn't looking pretty. And I was like, here I am. I worked my whole life, always talking about retirement. Like, what was I even wishing for? I was wishing to just do nothing because it was so hard to do stuff, because I was overweight and I was miserable and I was depressed, and but I just wanted to retire. I don't even know what my retirement was going to look like. I had no idea what it was even going to look like, but I wanted it. I wanted it because it meant I didn't have to go to work. I didn't have to do anything, because I just wanted a break, and there's no breaks. The breaks aren't coming. Like, I have to create my reality. Like, I know what I have to do to get what I want, and I just got clarity one day. I mean, I believe that it was almost like divine intervention, where, like, I don't know why it was different that day, than any other time that I was like, this is it. How many times did I say, this is it, but I just had that clear vision of myself in my 60s. It was right around the corner. And when I was 55, 60 seemed really old. And I was like, I'm going to be like 60 and old, and like, I'm going to just be shitty from head to toe. Spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, I was really struggling. And And yeah, and I just made that decision. So for me, what really kind of keeps me in line is having a food plan that I'm committed to. And I always say, like, you know, do it your way. If you have another way that works, first of all, it's got to work. It's got to be working. Because a lot of people redesign what I'm doing with the hopes of, like, you know, kind of like, well, let's make a deal. I'm gonna do this and this and this instead, and then it ends up perhaps not working. But if it's working and you're doing something your way, but what I really highly suggest is that you have a plan that you follow 100%, even if it's not this plan, if it's another plan. It's that 100% thing, because in my experience, if I change this from 100% to 99%, then within a couple of weeks it will be 98%. Give me another couple of weeks, it will be 97%. Give me about, you know, a couple of months, I'll be at 0%. All right? Because that's my history. My history is always, let's make a deal. I can have this because I'm going to work out. You know, I worked out today. I pulled over and worked out in a Cracker Barrel parking lot. Anyway, I just went to the back of the restaurant and there wasn't one car the whole time I was out there. I worked really hard. I don't eat more food. I didn't like earn something. What I did was I worked for something. I didn't earn something. I paid for something, and I worked hard for other goals that I have that are very reasonable. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm not trying to be gorgeous. You know, I want to just be strong, and I want to be flexible, and I want to improve my posture, and that's my goals with this personal trainer. And so when Thanksgiving comes, so I'll be home for Thanksgiving, which is wonderful, and my daughter is on her way home from Iowa. She should be arriving there either tomorrow or the next day, so she's going to beat me there. And she's actually moving home for the winter. So she's going to be home for the winter. I won't be home all winter, but she's moving home for the winter, which is lovely. I'll see her for the month of December. She hasn't been home in quite a while. She moved to Iowa like 6 or 7 years ago. So this is going to be like all of us, you know, all of us together for Thanksgiving. It's going to be lovely. And nobody wants turkey. Nobody wants that stuff. 3 out of 5 are vegetarians. So they love my Italian food. So I'm going to make an Italian feast. And they're going to have exactly what they love. I don't eat a bite of that. I will love making that for them for Thanksgiving dinner. And they'll just be like so grateful that I took the time to make this. Yeah, it's not going to make my Thanksgiving more happy. Like, happy Thanksgiving. What do I need to do to have a happy Thanksgiving? I need to remember that rock bottom that I had that felt really lousy, and that turning point for me. And whatever that turning point was, and now I'm facing this way, and I'm going this way, and I've been going this way for over 10 and a half years. Okay, so it's been a long time since I did an about face and went backwards. I haven't done it. And it's just like, thank you, God, because I have the life that I have today. I feel good. I feel like, reminds me of that Taylor Swift song. I'm feeling 22. Everything's gonna be all right. I feel like I'm 22, you know? And just keep dancing like you're 22. That's what the song is. And, you know, I don't remember ever feeling this good. And nothing, no bite of anything is gonna make my day brighter. So I would love to open up a conversation here if there's anybody entertaining the idea of making any kind of an exception and how you think that's going to serve you well, and that perhaps you might want to rethink it. I would say the most classic plan for a holiday that would end up in disaster is that you would say, okay, so just for that day, I'm not going to weigh and measure my food. I'm not going to worry about it being like 100% clean. Like if it's butter on it, it's no big deal. And I'm going to just eyeball the meal, and I'm going to put it together and have it look like very similar to a meal that I have that's weighed and measured on this plan, and that's all I'm going to have. Good luck. I don't know. If you're anything like me, that's probably not going to work out well, because it's going to end up with, if you've come up with that alternate plan, then there'll be an alternate plan for just a sliver of pumpkin pie, just a sliver, and then you just, I don't know about anybody else, but how many people like sliver things to death? You sliver things all day long until it's gone, and it's just like every single time you went to it, it was just going to be a sliver, you know? And then you think about it all day, and you go get another sliver, and that's what you do with your day. Sliver in a cake. Like, what'd you do today? I slivered a cake. That's what I did all day. Because whatever else I was trying to do, I was preoccupied with the damn cake because I took the first sliver, you know? So I don't know if that rings any bells for you, but that would be my life, okay? So, you know, everybody else that's going to be there for Thanksgiving, there'll be 5 of us. None of them eat like me today, and they didn't eat like me when I ate, when I was eating whatever I wanted. They're just regular, like normal eaters. I watch it, I notice it, I identify it, and they just show me who I'm not. I'm not that. I am not that. I'm not going to have the eggplant parmesan and just do what they did. Just take a piece of it, and then just take 1 piece of garlic bread, and then leave the crust. No, I don't do that stuff. I don't do that stuff, you know? So they just show me who I'm not. And then there's some people that show me who I am. Like I'll see somebody that's eating very compulsively like I used to, and I can see somebody that's very focused on the food. Like it's almost like that's why they're there. And then I can relate there. I'm just like, I know what's going on here. It's not my business. There's nobody there that I need to fix. I'm just noticing that's me. That's me, you know? And then I notice my family. Thank God my kids didn't get this cuckoo-ness from me. You know, my Thanksgiving is going to be very, very happy. I'm going to be very happy making them happy with their favorite meal. And I'm going to be happy with their company. I'm going to be really happy that my daughter will be there for a holiday. She hasn't been home for a holiday in a long time. So that will be nice. And then in a few weeks, I'll be gone for the whole winter. So hopefully they all enjoy each other while I'm gone. And I'm just going to keep weighing and measuring my meals and enjoying every bite. I just love the food on my plan. I just really, truly love it. And I just feel like when I'm finished, I just feel like I've done something really good for myself, you know? And it just doesn't get old. It's all these years later. It's still just as important. You know, I don't have an ounce to lose. You know, I could probably afford to eat a little bit more, but I'll find that out when I get home, because I'm feeling kind of thin, probably because of all this working out I'm doing. God, she's killing me. But today was really different. I'm in Louisiana right now, and just heading this much north. It's like, 20 degrees cooler, and the humidity's gone. And it was just, I was working out today, and I said to her, I said, wow, I was just about ready to say, this workout is so much more enjoyable without all that humidity. But then I said, no, that's not crazy, because it's not enjoyable. I said, this is so much less unenjoyable. This is so much less unenjoyable now that I'm out of the humidity, because I would need like a sweat rag. I was just like dripping and melting, working out in Texas, but I did it anyway. But today was like, oh wow, it was so good. It was a little chilly. It was great. It was great. You know, I'm just doing what I need to do to keep myself well and keep my own commitments to myself. I've stopped lying to myself. I'm not going to lie to myself anymore. I know the lies. Can't lie to myself anymore. You know, the jig is up. I'm just a woman of my word to other people, so why wouldn't I be a woman of my word to myself? Especially myself. Because it's not selfish at all to put yourself first and your self-care first. It's not selfish at all. In fact, it does the world good. When I'm doing what I'm doing for myself, I have so much more to give others. Just really feel good about myself and just have some confidence in myself, you know? And it's there for all of us. It's there for all of us. Anyone can do this. Oh my God, if you knew me, then you would say, no way, no way. And I'm telling you, it's an absolute miracle. So any of you that are following this and you're committed to it and you're feeling really excited about it and you're not waiting for it to end and you're not struggling every day trying to make it work, it's a huge gift. And that's what you should celebrate on Thursday. And celebrate it by acknowledging it and just give yourself a big hug, you know? So that's what I got on this subject. Nicole, would you like to share on this?
Sure. I mean, I think divine intervention happened to me too when I came across your YouTube that one day, because I wasn't looking for you or a plan. You know, I was just on the couch while my husband was running errands and came across it, and it just struck me so profoundly, because I was 55 and I knew that I had just gotten up to 281, and I thought, oh my goodness, it's not too much farther till I'll be at my top if I don't do something. And I felt terrible about that. And so divine intervention happened to me because I was sitting there and came across your video. And, you know, the example that you provide, not just in that video, but like all the way through now. And now that we've all met each other and we're all examples to each other about our journey, is just remarkable. So I am super thankful for it. And I have been, you know, noticing, of course, I'm going to prepare a meal for my family. There will be about 8 of us, and I'm making a traditional meal. And I've been thinking about, oh yeah, the recipe for that and the recipe for that. And I'm like, you know, I just really want to be super aware that when I'm thinking about these wonderful things that my family loves and that I used to love, that it's really a choice I'm making now, because I don't want to break my own heart and fall off the plan and choose anything else anymore. It's a little more intense when it's going to be the holidays, because all the commercials and your family's all talking about food, and, you know, you're preparing some things. And so it just kind of, I would just encourage everyone, and I encourage myself, to keep the cycle of overeating in mind, because it starts with the thinking. And if I didn't think I could handle that, I would remove myself from that. But I know I can, because I live with my husband who eats other things. I go to places with other people. I'm pretty rock solid that I'm not going to break my own heart. I'm not going to ruin my hopes. And I would be so unhappy if I broke this promise to myself and my progress, you know, because for me too, it wouldn't just be like, well, that was a bad day. Now I'm back on track. You know, that was before. It wouldn't be like that for me. It's never been like that for me, because I would break a promise to myself or lie to myself. And so that list of, the lies we tell ourselves, you know, dig that up, because I did. And it's good to just read it, because, you know, we like to tell ourselves almost anything when we just are feeling kind of, you know, like deprived or weak. But I remember too, like, I'm not deprived, I'm full. I never think, oh my goodness, you know, I'm starving. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's time to eat again. you know, and I really love, most of all, the biggest thing that I just love is I'm always thinking, Lulu, what you said one time, which is I don't use food for entertainment anymore. It's nutrition, you know, and it is so bizarre. People say, oh, it's not normal what we're doing sometimes, but it's not normal to use food for entertainment. It's to fuel our bodies, you know, and make them run well. So it's kind of just like a private thing in your heart when, you know, you're the only one maybe in your family who's doing this. It's okay, you know, because you're taking care of yourself. And I just stand by that. It doesn't matter one iota to anyone else what goes in your mouth and down to your stomach. They don't, you know, it doesn't affect them. So I don't know. I think this is a great topic, because I think just like when we're marketed to at this time of year to buy things, you know, shop, 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 we're also marketed to eat, eat, eat. And just to kind of take a step back, I know I have been, and just taking some walks and thinking about what I'm really grateful for. And it's really like my you know, my heart, my happiness, my hopes are all on the upswing. And it's just because of making a promise to yourself and keeping it. So
yeah. And you know something, all the weight loss programs out there, they're all gearing up because it's almost, you know, it's almost holiday weight, and then the January 1st, you know, the New Year's resolutions, they're all gearing up. We're having, you know, new promotions, and they're all geared up for all the people that are just, you know, have tried those programs before, lost weight, gained it back, lost weight, gained it back, you know, and then it's just going to come back and do it again, you know. Another thing you said, Nicole, when you said how, like, you know, you might be the only one there in the family that's doing it, and it's okay. It's almost kind of like, you know, if anybody has like a sober alcoholic in their family, you know, so that person is there, everybody's drinking, that person's not drinking, and everybody's really grateful that they're not drinking because probably their life was a shit show, you know. So it's like they're grateful that, and that person that's sober is grateful to be sober, and this, like, I'm all set, you know, you don't have to feel bad for me because I'm not drinking wine too, because I'm all set. You know, any sober alcoholic would say that, that wants to be sober. So basically, it's just like, it's really not much different, you know? You know, I feel like I ate alcoholically, you know, whereby, like, I didn't have a choice not to. It felt like I had no choice. Like, the same way, like, an alcoholic is driven by alcohol, and you're just like, why did they drink? They were doing so good, you know? They probably couldn't even answer you. They're just kind of like, I don't know, I just did. I can remember like quitting smoking, and not this last time, but, you know, one of the million times that I did, you know, and I quit. And I remember it had been about 6 months, and I never forget, I didn't want to, like, I still longed for it, and it was hard. And I remember one day I was driving down the street, and the next thing I knew, I was in like a convenience store parking lot. I was just like, almost kind of like, how'd I get here? I was like, oh, I'm here to buy cigarettes. And I remember having the conversation with myself, don't go in there and buy it. Don't go in there. And then I did anyway. And then I'm in the line, and I'm like, get out of the line. Get out of the line. Nope. And I said, I'll have a pack of Marlboros, right? So get the Marlboros, and then I'm like, change your mind right now. Nope. I went out to my car, and I was like, all I want is one. So I took one, I threw the cigarettes in the barrel, I took one, and then I smoked a $10 pack of cigarettes right in the barrel, and then I smoked that cigarette, even though I knew, I was watching this happen. This is how, like, you can just kind of be carried by it, you know? And the same thing can happen with food. It's like, oh, I'm just going to have a handful of grapes, and then watch out, because then you're going to be face first in a pie, you know? And, you know, I had that cigarette, and it was delicious, and then I went back and got another pack, you know? It's just like, I'm just like, that's my nature, you know? With the things that I that I was just depending on. And one of the things was food, because it can be very soothing and medicating, and you can just kind of escape reality. And so I just rather stay in reality today. It's just more comfortable. So I'll be the oddball anywhere, because in my opinion, all that past behavior, that was odd. That story I just told you about the cigarettes, that's odd. That's an odd thing to do, not being a non-smoker, or somebody that doesn't eat sugar anymore, or somebody that doesn't drink, or somebody that stops doing drugs. It's the same. It's all the same thing. It's all stuff that's just hurting yourself, and food is really changing people's health, for the worst. So it's like you can just turn things around with, let food be thy medicine,
Yeah, I was going to say too, I've been doing some decluttering, and I came across a Weight Watchers dessert cookbook, and I would kind of flip through it, not studying it, but just like looking at a few pictures. And I thought, what a joke, it should be called a joke book, because it's just a way to like get some sugar in and only eat this much. And I just am so glad, like that crazy cycle of like trying to control cravings when you're feeding it, even just a little bit, So I think, if that would have worked, it would have worked for a lot of people by now, me included, because how many times have we all done that? So, and yeah, Lulu, what you said about smoking, I've never smoked, but I know my mom quit smoking, and I think it was 7 years, and she just thought she could just have one, because, she had it whipped, and she thought, well, I'm just going to have one. And of course now she's struggling again, and it's been, it's been at least that long or a little more. And she's just trying to wean down. So it's something, this for me is something that I could lose if I let it go. Yeah. And I don't want to lose it. So it's like a thing like that. And a lot of people won't understand that because they don't have this problem. Yeah. But that's okay, because we know we're not alone. Yeah. We know that there's others like us. So,
and you don't have the smoking problem like your mom. So like you don't have that,
right.
And she don't have that, and some people don't have the issue with food. And we all soothe ourselves and medicate ourselves, and we make different choices. So she chose the cigarettes, you chose the food, and equally destructive. I think they're equally destructive. Not just the unhealthy food being your fuel, but also carrying a lot of extra weight. It's really hard on the body. So, and smoking is hard on the body too. So. Yeah, so we all have our thing. I still have thoughts like when I see something, something like if somebody came and like opened up a box of donuts, I wouldn't think like, oh my God, do I want one of those? But what I do think is I would like to eat all of those. I don't think like it would be nice to have one. I want the whole dozen. And that's right then. My thought goes to the whole dozen, and my thought goes to, oh, you're still a little cuckoo, Lulu. And that's okay. That's okay. Because I'm not touching them. I don't want one bite, because one bite will be the box. I'm not doing it, So anyway, good for you, Nicole. So happy for you. So happy for you.
Well, I'm happy for all of us, really, that we found each other. Yes. Holy smokes, what a blessing. Yes. So, okay, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, everyone. It's so true what everybody's saying, and I definitely do not want to activate what I say. I call it the sugar monster, because that sugar monster is always there. I know it's there. It's sleeping or not activated, but if I was to activate that sugar monster is never happy with just a little bit. No. I want more and more, and it haunts me. Like if I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and I happen to know that I put something in the garage to keep me away from it, I will go to the garage and I will get it. So no, I don't want to wake up that monster. No. And I'm very happy because I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do. I've got it all planned out. We're going to my sister's for Thanksgiving. So for my small family, and here we're going to make small Thanksgiving dinner in advance. So that's wonderful because that means I'm going to be able to measure everything out. My meal that I'm going to take there, it's going to look very similar. It's going to be turkey, and it's going to look similar to what they're eating, but I'm bringing it because I measured it and I know exactly how it's made. I know everything and how it's made. No extra anything. Last week at work, we had a Thanksgiving celebration, and it just worked out because I happened to be on the entertainment committee, and I am not one to do this. It just was the only option. Everyone else had signed up by the time I got to sign up. And so I was on the entertainment committee and we had bingo. And so I ended up being the caller and, the game show host. And I'm not a teacher or anything. And so it was a lot for me to have the confidence and everything to do this, but I did. And it was great because when everybody ate, I had a reason to not eat because I said, I don't want spinach in my teeth when I'm calling the numbers and everything. Ha, ha, ha. And I made a small amount of food to have later, but I knew that I wasn't going to eat it later, but that's how I got out of it. Aren't you eating? No, I'm just going to be calling the game very soon, all the games that we're doing. And, but here's my food for later. But I had packed my salad. So when everything got done, I had my salad. But the thing that I noticed that was so wonderful is I was present. I could hear people. It was about 60 people, maybe 65 people. I could hear the conversations, the laughter, the beautiful music. Since I was on the entertainment committee, we had that designed. We had all the electronic equipment designed, the beautiful New England scape. We're in Florida, so to have a beautiful fall scape was just beautiful. And just all the details of the beautiful spread and the beautiful people enjoying themselves, that I was so present and I didn't feel the need to eat. And the other thing was when I was calling the games and just cracking jokes here and there, I could appreciate how wonderful it felt that I was so happy because I was serving, there's just something that just opened up in me that I was able to enjoy the event, and food had nothing to do with it. And that's really something that's what I'm going to do again on Thanksgiving Day with my family. So that's all I
nice,
have to say.
Liz. That's really nice.
Happy Thanksgiving. I want to ask you, Lulu, Thanksgiving is next Thursday, and Thursday is our meeting day. Are we meeting on next Thursday night?
Well, who would still like to be here on Thursday night? Raise your hand. Anybody? Yeah, let's have it. Even if there's just 3 of us or 2 of us, we can just talk about whatever. We'll talk about the day we had and the choices we made, and it might be a small group, but let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
That'd be great. Okay, thank you.
And yeah,
I'm sure I'm not the only one who was wondering that.
Yeah.
So I just be the first one.
Yeah, I meant to bring that up, and I forgot. So thank you. But there is real truth to what you said about being present and what you actually hear and see and feel. on a holiday like Thanksgiving when you're not all about the food. It's amazing, you know.
Yeah,
Go hang with the kids because they don't eat. They don't want to sit and eat,
that's
right?
true. And they have fun.
Yeah. Just watch them, and like you said, you're just listening to conversations, listening to kids play. Christmas, instead of eating all the food, you're just kind of watching the kids talk about their toys and my great nieces and nephews I'm talking about. And when you're present, when you're really present, when you're not numbing out with food and being distracted with food, it's very distracting.
Being distracted, it is. It's very distracting to the point where it was the most important thing in my day.
Yeah.
Was food. But now, like you said, that would happen, and it is happening. And I'm just so thankful that it's no longer the most important thing of that day. What really is the most important thing of the day is that I'm present for my family that I love, and I can let them know how much I love them and be there for them and enjoy them. So I'm just very thankful for this plan and this group. It's just really, really amazing. Thank you so much.
It's life-changing, isn't it? It's really life-changing.
Yeah,
it's a whole new. It's like a whole new design of living. A whole new, like I feel like I redesigned my life. Just because in order to food not being the center, when food was the center of everything, you don't need to just all of a sudden just not make it the center and then you don't have a center, right? It's a redesigning. It's just a redesigning, and it's like just finding other things and then it actually seems silly to be like that excited about a piece of pie. Like, really? When there's just so much beauty and wonderful people, like all those people that were playing bingo and, our families that we'll sit with at Thanksgiving. And it's like, there's just so much more to life than just eating stuff, So just when it's time to eat, it's very, very important to nourish yourself and get the energy and get your body energized. And when you give it food that's actual true energy, it's amazing how you can just feel really good, like all the time. All the time.
That's true.
And like I said, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Because when I say spiritually, like it feels like you just get tuned into like what really matters, and that's and just looking around.
I feel that I got a chance to experience that.
Yeah.
I mean, how many lives are lived all the way to the end, and they never have experienced what I experienced last week, and I will again experience next week and future holidays and get-togethers. I feel so lucky to have discovered this.
Good.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I started this journey at 55 years old, and I could say that, like, well, what a waste, 55 years. I didn't even experience anything like this until I was 55 years old. But something? It just was perfect timing.
Yeah.
I think that one of the reasons why it's so, this redesign happened for me and this level of joy has happened for me is because of the darkness of the past and remembering, never forgetting where I came from, and I'm just ecstatic, and I wasted no time because it just is what it is.
The next day after that, I'm an introvert, and whenever I have to do something that's an extrovert activity, I'm exhausted, and it takes me time to recover. But so I was resting, and I was crying, and my husband asked me, he said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "I am crying because I am so happy. I am so thankful and happy." And I explained to him the different moments that were just shining in my memory, just like beautiful moments throughout that that event, and I was so full in my heart that I was crying. And so he was really concerned and plus exhausted. But it was just really that changing to me, this event, and experiencing what you have been talking about.
Right.
I got to experience it. So I'm here to say that it's possible.
Yay.
Yeah.
And Liz, you're on maintenance now, right? You've been maintaining for a few months.
Yes.
And what's your total weight loss?
70 pounds.
70 pounds.
Yeah.
70 pounds, and now
Amazing.
on maintenance, and you're still weighing out your meal and taking it for Thanksgiving.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I am weighing, weighing, and I'm taking it for Thanksgiving. I am.
So the grand prize,
no one's gonna notice any different,
right?
You know?
Yeah, nobody cares. But the grand prize at the end of it all isn't like you get to eat at Thanksgiving. The grand prize at the end of it all is what you experienced the other day. That's the grand prize.
It's just, I know now what to pursue. Do you know? Because I've experienced it. I know that's what I want. Yeah. That's what I want to experience in these get-togethers.
Yeah.
It's not the food.
It's service.
Yeah, it's service. It's experiencing, getting together with people and just noticing all those details around. It's just, everything comes, it's so brighter. It's so much brighter and so much real, being present right there.
Right.
And having conversations with people and not like in between bites because I'm just eating, you know?
Yeah.
I can actually just sit there and be there for them.
Yeah. Good, Liz. Excellent.
Thank you.
Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, everyone. So I don't think I'm going to have any problems. I've been doing pretty good. I'm actually a little excited because I already know what I'm taking. Because I've been on a kick with my roasted vegetables. Literally just throwing all sorts of vegetables in the pan and roasting them, and it's just been so delicious. So delicious that my family can't stop eating them either, and it's getting a little pricey. but I'm glad that they're wanting it. And the chicken, like your smoked paprika chicken, my oldest son is in love with it. He's like, oh my God, Mom, that barbecue sauce that you use is so delicious. I'm like, there's no barbecue sauce on that. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's my new favorite chicken, but I'm going to actually be using the Chick Renee. That's been my favorite lately now, ever since I tried it with the Dijon mustard. Yeah, it's so delicious.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is so when I cook it, because he likes the paprika one, the smoked paprika, I've been doing half pan smoked paprika, half. So sometimes it kind of mixes the juices a little on accident, and it tastes really yummy. So, because I'll get one that has like half and half on it. I'm like, ooh, that was a nice surprise. Like when I take a bite into it. But yeah, I'm gonna take a some sweet potato bunch. I've also been putting like just to add to my veggies, I take a giant handful of mixed greens first, and then I add on for the weight with the mixed the roasted veggies.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing, and I just been loving it so much with the oil and the Himalayan salt, and it's just
so when you
you said, I get a little bit of everything on the fork, and it's just all the taste is just so yummy.
So when you put the roasted veggies on the mixed greens, do you put are they warm so that the greens get a little wilty, or is it everything cold?
When it's the first night, yeah. But I've been doing like you. I don't even heat up my chicken or anything. I don't even nuke my chicken. I'm like, I just pull it out of the fridge and I just put it all together, and it's just so tasty that way.
Yeah.
Because I was lazy one time, and I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like even heating it up. And I tried it like you do, and I was like, this is so good.
Yeah.
Cold.
I like cold cooked food. I really do.
Yeah. And I've been not overcooking the chicken either. And so my husband says, wow, the chicken's so moist. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not overcooking it. I'm like, just cooking it.
Everybody overcooks chicken. They're afraid to.
I leave it in the pan. I turn the pan off, and while I'm finishing other things, I just leave it in there and let it soak up all the juices.
Yep.
And then I'll put mine if I'm eating it that day, or I just put it in the fridge and good to go. But I've literally been eating that every day for my lunch.
Yeah, good.
And I'll do it for dinner even too with sweet potato. But I've been so hooked to these roasted veggies now that it's getting cooler and I can put the oven on. I'm like really liking that.
Which veggies do you pick? Which veggies do you?
So I use lately it's been broccoli, green beans, I don't know if they're considered cherry tomatoes, but they're like sweet something or another, sweet tops or whatever they're called. They're like a cherry tomato. Sometimes I'll throw in some chopped onion if I have it there. So I got the broccoli, green beans, tomatoes, asparagus I've thrown in there. Oh, zucchini. I've been using zucchini the last couple of days. Just kind of whatever
Peppers too,
either
right?
I pick
Peppers?
up or if I have something in the fridge that needs to be used.
Yeah. Didn't I see peppers in one of your pictures? Did you?
Oh, yes. The baby peppers.
Yes.
Those like you do.
The small ones.
And
yeah.
I've been doing those.
Good.
And which my dog's been loving too, because every time he smells the pepper cut open, he's like, oh, red pepper. He loves red peppers.
That's so funny.
So I'm like, get your paws off, stay away. He's like, and then my kids are like, wait, what? His name is Georgie. You feed him red peppers? I'm like, I keep telling you, they're not spicy, you guys. They're actually sweet and yummy. So they're getting more and more interested as well, the kids. So
That's really
I'm not
good.
worried about that.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned that anyone's going to be noticing either, because everyone's going to be drinking.
Yeah.
And which that will be my tester. I do enjoy wine, and I haven't drank for a while, and just being around so many people that will be drinking, that will be the one thing that will probably be my hardest. But if I'm thinking, well, I want to see if anyone notices my food, I actually won't probably even paying attention to their drinking either, because I'll be curious to see. But honestly, no one ever notices. And we're going to in-laws, so I don't have to prepare anything except for my own food. So that's going to be even easier. Because I asked, do you want me to bring anything? Nope. They're doing the whole thing. So I'm like, even better for me. But this is the first year that will ever happen. Usually I'm asked to bring like the dessert. And I think, to be honest, that they didn't ask me because they know that I've been eating different.
Oh, good.
They didn't say that, but I'm thinking maybe they're just not asking because maybe they don't want roasted vegetables for their dessert. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I think they're probably just thinking like, that you're doing really well, and they're maybe just being supportive. Yeah, they're just being supportive, which is nice. And you go there and show them how it's done. You're just like, something. Yeah. I don't need to eat the desserts. I don't need to have wine. And when you said, I like to drink wine, and everybody's going to be drinking wine. Yeah, something. I like to drink wine too, but I haven't had a swig of it in over 10 years. So because it's not on my food plan. It's not on my food plan.
It's not in the food plan, and that will be my sliver. If I have one glass, it won't be no more. It'll be another glass, and then another glass, and then those glasses will be like, oh, I would like to have this to eat with that.
Yeah, then you're going to end up with the stuffing and eating all that stuff, and you don't want to be doing that.
Yeah, and I've been struggling since June on and off so hard trying to be 100% that I don't... I'm still not 100% on eating all the 16-ounce veggies and things like that, but food-wise, I'm there.
Yeah,
it's just
you don't want to go back.
I don't want to go off and then have to, like I did on vacation. Yeah. For those that don't know, when I went on vacation in July, I went off intentionally thinking it was going to be easy to get back, and it was not. It was a very big struggle, and I'm finally at that place again where I don't want to struggle to get back with the sugar devil or the sugar monster or whatever you want to call it. And everything usually has sugar in it that's not good for you.
And the flour, because even if you went on Thanksgiving and said, I'm not going to have any cake, and then you eat like a bazillion mashed potatoes and the stuffing, which is all bread and fat, it's just like bread and butter, and
and they use a lot of oil, even when they make their rice and stuff. my husband's family, they're Latin, and they use a lot of oil for everything. So, and a lot of salt, like a lot of things. It's just over too much for everything. So definitely
not your food.
No, and I know it's a whole week away, and I've been thinking about it for a couple weeks now. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm getting so excited. I'm gonna literally eat the same thing I've been eating every
That's
day.
that's what's exciting.
I'm like,
that's what's exciting, Christy.
But it's just so weird because I'm like, I'm so excited for Thanksgiving, but I'm eating the same thing. I'm like,
yeah, but you're really excited probably to get together with the family, like Liz was talking about. You know?
Yeah.
Just really notice and listen and just
And your way of eating has been such a blessing to me. And just also when I'm home and I am craving something and eat, because if it is here because of my family or whatever, and I'm like really, really thinking about it, if I'm not busy, with whatever, and I'm home, I put one of your reruns on from YouTube because I will feel so guilty eating something I shouldn't be while watching you, like as if like you can see me, like you'll be talking about your healthy food and I'll be like, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I do.
Just pretend I'm talking right to you.
Yeah, my kids even say, how many times you gonna watch her, Mom? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna she's like a Netflix channel now. I'm just gonna rewatch when there's nothing better on. And the kids, like, my youngest loves the music too. So he's my more dancer and active one. Yeah. So he comes out and he starts shaking it when he hears the music and stuff. I'm like, but they know too, because they even said they thought it was Thursday yesterday. And they're like, Mom, my oldest, Mom, you're meeting. What are you doing? I'm like, it's only Wednesday. So it's been life-changing for all of us.
They're paying attention,
Yeah, it's life-changing for all of us because they're starting to eat healthier. They're starting to see that I'm eating better. Even my husband's just like, oh yeah, and he says, it is mental, a mental thing, because not just what's in your brain, but what comes out your mouth too. Because my husband says, you seem so much calmer, even towards the kids now that you're eating better. And I'm like, you really think that that's what it is?
Well, you know what it is. Well, you're not struggling.
What else is it?
Well, no, you're not struggling. So when you're always in a space where you want something and you're saying you're going to do it and you don't do it, that puts you in a space, that puts you in a very negative space, and probably everyone around you feels it. The same way I say everyone feels like when I'm taking good care of myself, everybody benefits. Everybody around me benefits,
Yep.
So
true.
Yeah, so that's what it is. You don't want to get on the struggle bus again. It's parked right out front.
I remember just a few months ago. I mean, I remember all the years before and months and everything, but just lately since I started in June, but July, because that first month, June, I lost 8 pounds that month. And then I went on vacation and I gained almost all back. Yeah. I gained 6 pounds back in a matter of 2 weeks.
Because you thought you thought you had a good idea, but it's not a good idea.
No, it wasn't.
Now you know.
I had nothing under control.
Now you know.
It's funny how you can just have one little thing and not all the time and a lot, and how much you can gain back so fast.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
it's not just the weight either. It's the craziness that you're gaining back too. Like you said. You don't want to get back into that.
That's why your husband is noticing that you're calmer, because you're not in that crazy whirlwind of wishing, just wishing, and not having it. You just wish you had it and you don't have it.
Yeah, instead, I used to get the hangry. I used to get that. Like if I didn't have, whatever I would be having in the morning, back then, especially in the mornings, if I wasn't having it right away and my kids were messing around or whatever, I would like snap. And now I'm just like, go with the flow. I already know what I'm having. I think that's what helps. I already know what I'm having.
You're prepared.
So,
You're prepared.
yeah,
I would say,
and we were running out of eggs today. I had 2 left, and my husband wanted one, and I said, "Sorry, there's only 2, and they're for me." And he's like, "Okay, I don't need it. I don't need it."
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, "Tomorrow, after I get eggs tomorrow." But it's like, that's all mine now. First come, first serve. I'm like, you can have your sugary cereal, and I'm gonna have my eggs with my oatmeal and blueberries. So
good for you, Christy. So maybe,
yeah,
maybe will we see you next? Will we see you next Thursday? You think
no, unfortunately,
okay.
because we are going to the in-laws, and we don't leave here until like 3, and we probably won't get home until like 9.
I think we'll all be curious that we all want to hear how you made out. No, we don't want to hear how. We want to hear that you made out well.
Yeah,
maybe
I think
put it
I
on
will.
Facebook. Put it on Facebook. We'll be waiting. I'll
snap a picture. Yeah.
Tell us about your happiest Thanksgiving ever.
On my plate, my sweet potato and everything. Yeah.
All right, good.
Just curious, Lulu. Do you know what you're eating for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Just comes to you.
It's just whatever I have.
Time.
Yeah, I could just have a salad or just some cooked veggies, or whatever I have. It's just like it's just another day of. I don't need anything, any specific.
I think I'm getting excited about the sweet potatoes just because I started eating more of those recently instead of the rice. So
I'll have those. You know, I'll have those.
Yeah. And you'll probably be happy because now you're moving more north, further north. You'll be able to actually get yours. Right?
I'll be looking for the first. Well, at the meetup, 3 people gifted me Japanese white sweet potatoes. It was
nice.
It was the sweetest thing, because I've been saying like I can't get them. You know, I think I might have said I must have said it in a video. I don't remember, but.
And I was did.
Yeah, so I was just getting the orange ones. I mean, they're fine. They were fine, you know. But I was like, I miss my sweet potatoes. And then I had gift bags. Sweet potatoes.
That's funny.
3 people.
Funny.
So I'm stocked up until I find the first Whole Foods, you know.
Nice. Yeah, I've actually gotten excited now with I did before, even when I was eating them. But then I got hooked to rice for a little bit, and I've been not losing. So I'm going back to, I think, mostly just sweet potatoes. And I got excited because I got some really pretty good sized ones, even though it costed me a mini fortune because they're pricey here per pound. And I think it was my sister-in-law because I bought them over by my mother-in-law's area. And then we went back to her apartment, and I got them, and I came in. And I was telling my husband, oh my God, you should see this sweet potato, how huge it is. This is going to last me for like a whole week. And because it's so big. And then with only doing the 4 ounces. And my sister-in-law was like, why are you getting so excited over a sweet potato? I'm like, because I'm having this tonight.
They're delish.
I really don't know why I was so excited, but I really was.
Oh, be excited about your food.
So excited over that.
Be excited about your food.
I'd rather be excited over that than being like, am I going to have this, bad meal tonight? Yeah. Like, instead of excitement, you would be more like frustrated. Oh, should I have this or should I have that? No, I already know. So it's fine.
No, when I'm going through the grocery store and I'm picking up my stuff, I'm very excited about just like, oh, look at these blueberries look great, and
it's more exciting seeing your cart so full of produce and you put it up on the conveyor belt, and it's just like, and then you look at the persons in front of them, and it's usually mostly like all packaged food and sugary stuff, and you're like, oh, it feels so good. I'm not getting that.
Yes. Yeah, good for you.
I'll just say, Christy, I'm really excited for you.
Me too.
And you. What else is super exciting is that your boys are at the age where, they're going to remember this journey of yours, even when they're much older. Yeah. And, just to think about that too is kind of just super cool.
And they know too, like, with health stuff and everything, so my youngest is 9 and he works out with dumbbells. He loves to work out. And I don't know where he's getting this stuff from, maybe YouTube or whatever. And he's like, Mom, chicken's very good protein for you. Like, he's all into this whole, oh, and you know how many vitamins are in your broccoli? And I'm like, yeah. And he he goes, but no cooked veggie. He don't like cooked broccoli. He eats his stuff raw. And he's like, no cooked veggies for me, though. He goes, you know, it's better if you eat it raw. He's like doing all this stuff. How much protein's in something? I'm like, okay, good to know.
That's
Good
cute
to
that
know.
he's
Little
attuned to that.
cheerleaders.
But they do see it, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's better to change them. But honestly, my kids are not too much on like sugary stuff anyway. My biggest one is chips with them, so I have to stay clear. But,
Well, good for you, Christy. Very good.
And
Very good.
I won't be here for next Thursday, so everyone have a wonderful and blessed holiday.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Okay, Rebecca from beautiful BC.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hello, friends.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
So we've already had Thanksgiving in Canada,
Oh, yeah.
and it was just an ordinary day for me. I think I worked. I don't know what I did, but when I work at my second job in the evenings, it's at a group home, and so I'm in charge of dinner preparation, along with usually one of the residents. So that's actually been going really well because I changed my diet at the beginning of this year. So I was already eating differently than everyone else because I had gone off animal products. So there's always somebody around that can do a taste test. I don't have to do that. And then we eat with the residents. So I'm turning down free food to eat my own food different than everyone else. And I'm fine with that. And everyone else is too. It's just ordinary. But I did have, I want to say that little sayings that I've heard from you people have helped a lot. Like the other night, I had a craving for something and I heard, don't lie to yourself. You know, so these little sayings are coming back to me. And I really thank you for that. But before I started this program, I was off animal products and I was telling my family in Oregon that I'd made these changes. They were coming up for a visit and they even said to each other, well, my sister-in-law said, well, we can just go out to eat or we can buy what we want to eat at the grocery store. And I said, great, perfect. So they came for a visit and she had a huge issue with how I was eating. And she went so far as to say that I was being inhospitable and she didn't feel welcome and that I was a fanatic. And it was very hurtful and surprising because we had already discussed it before they got to my house. And at this point, I don't know if I can have them come and stay anymore with me if that's how she's going to act. And then I don't get to see my brother. So I'm just looking for suggestions.
Well, is she somebody that could perhaps use this food plan?
Oh, yes.
That's I mean, I could have answered that yes. That's somebody that's, you know, you're her mirror. Like, you know, she's seeing what you're doing. Perhaps it would serve her well to do the same thing, and that's her struggle. So if you can maybe find, yeah.
She got diagnosed with diabetes after going home from visiting me.
Yeah.
And
so she's struggling with food, and you're not. You're managing and redesigning your life, and it's probably what every doctor is telling her to do. And she just feels shit. That's what she feels. She feels shitty about herself. So it's kind of like, I wouldn't take it personal. Just don't take it personal.
I understand where it's coming from, but at the same time, I don't want to put myself willingly.
I probably wouldn't invite that again. But you know, you decide if it's at the expense of not seeing your brother. You have to decide for yourself. Are you willing to manage her words, her unkind words, so that you can spend time with your brother, or do you want to remove yourself from her unkind words? You know, perhaps you could muster up the strength to just listen and expect it, and then you just hear it and you just say, I always say, like when she's saying, like, you know, you're a fanatic, just say, you may be right. Like, you don't tell her, you don't tell her that she's right, because she's not right, but people want to be right, you know, so just say, you may be right. And then just keep doing what you do.
I wish I had listened to your videos prior to that, because that would have been a perfect reply. Yeah, you're probably right that I'm a fanatic.
Yeah. And I'll tell, and I'll tell anybody, like, I'll say it before they do. I know what I do is kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, I was just going to say that. I know. Yep. And then just keep doing what you're doing. Chris, what are you going to say?
I'm sorry, I cannot find the raise hand button for nothing. I've tried for 20 minutes, but if I might just answer Rebecca, if I may.
Yes.
Hi, Rebecca. I face that at times, what you're talking about, not as extreme as you have. And of course, each one of us here, our circumstances are different in terms of our journey and where we've come from. So I had a family member, and you know, I'm from the Caribbean. We have anytime someone's in town, there's a gathering. And I have a cousin who is extremely overweight. And it's, you know, when you said, Lulu, that it's a mirror, it never struck me that way. But she would make comments almost to the point of being hostile. That I was a fanatic, that I'm too OCD, and all of these questions. And for me, with my circumstances, one day I sat her down, we were by ourselves at a gathering, and she says, you know, you're not living. And I told her, I said, what wasn't living was injecting myself with insulin twice a day. I say, it looks like I'm being a fanatic to you, but it's the only way that I can move forward and live well. I said, you've never injected yourself with insulin. And it's true that I'm a mirror to her, because every time we have a gathering, my mother will say to me, or my daughter will say to me, did you see Aunt so-and-so? We call in the Caribbean, everybody who's older is an aunt. She's really my cousin. And they'll say, have you seen her? She can't even get up from a chair. You have to actually hold her hand and haul her up. She's that heavy. So it's true that it's a difficult thing to balance, because you want to see your brother. And I don't know, you know, you've talked about your work at the group home where you help to prepare meals and someone else can taste it. I don't know if maybe it might be a middle ground where maybe you prepare some of the things that she might like while you stick to what you know is good for you, if that might be some kind of compromise where she won't feel so aggressive about it, where she might feel that she might still want to come. I don't know if that could be an option, because it's a big deal not to be able to see your brother if you can't host people because of her behavior.
I did supply standard American diet food for them. But there were certain things that I didn't go out and buy. Like the big sticking issue for her was that there was no cream in the house for coffee, even though they had already purchased some earlier in the week for themselves. And I was just getting over COVID too. I'd passed out doing a driving lesson. I have a driving school. On the Saturday, I passed out on my first lesson in the passenger seat while the kid was driving. And on Monday they arrived. So I was still really sick. And it was, but you're right. Because I love her. It's not that I don't love her. And I want to spend time with her too, but I have to take care of myself. But
she's lashing out at what she's not able to do. That she's seeing that you're doing, you know.
But
that's another good thing to say too, you know, Rebecca, is I love you, but you know, I have to take care of myself. I love spending time with you and having you to my home, but I have to take care of myself this way.
And I have been just feeling so much better since I've been doing this. So I really don't want to do it any other way. You know, perhaps you'll end up being an example to her. I wouldn't promote it like that, but you know, she's going to see you the next time and you're still doing this stupid thing. And then she'll see you again. You're still doing this stupid OCD thing. And then you just keep doing it. And then one day she might just be like, what are you doing? Like, I want to do that too, you know, tell her about this meeting, have her come and join us, you know.
She's a real special person. She gets very, very upset when I have lost weight when she sees me.
Well, you know, like because every doctor is probably telling her to do exactly what you're doing right now. And they're just like, come on, you're headed for trouble unless you do this. And then you're showing her exactly what she needs to do. And you're doing it without the diabetes. So.
Well, I really appreciate all the things that I've heard you guys say, because if I had known those things in May when they were here, I could have dealt with that so much better.
Yeah.
And so I would like to try again with the knowledge that I have now.
Yeah. Just make sure there's cream in the house. Make sure there's cream in the house. Just get a little container. Have some cream for the coffee. Even though, and another thing that you said was about the free food. Like I brought my own food when there was free food. I used to struggle with that too, like at work with the free food and stuff, all this free. And it just, I realized one day, there's no such thing as free food. There's no such thing. Might not cost you any money. It's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you big in other ways. It's going to cost you, it's going to take from you. And there's no free food. I was like, nope, nothing's free. So, we all got through Halloween. We're all going to get through Thanksgiving. We're going to get through Christmas. And then we're going to start a new year with a different New Year's resolution. Maybe none. I don't even have one anymore. And it's not going to be losing weight. Like the same one every year. Losing weight. Got to lose weight. All the gyms are packed, they're crowded, and Weight Watchers is sending out flyers every left and right. And that's not going to be us. We're going to just keep doing what we did on December 31st. We're going to do on January 1st. We all have that choice, which is very cool. And you just keep doing what you're doing. And, God bless her. God bless her.
That's right. I've been keeping her in my prayers. And,
good. That's nice of you.
And I really appreciate all the support that this group gives. Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you, Rebecca, for sharing.
Thanks, Rebecca. Marie.
Hi, Marie.
This is such a great group. This is so good to
How are you
be
tonight?
Here. This is my first month, and I feel like I live in the kitchen.
Yeah.
If I have to roast one more vegetable, and my husband loves them, and it's terrible because I sit there and go, I'm going to be roasting some more tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they are so good. And I like the idea of, was it Christy putting it over the greens and everything? I have to find a way to get them to go a little longer. But, we both love vegetables. We both love salads. So that's been very good. I am struggling, though. I dreamt about cake the other night. So I know it's temporary, but, I'm sticking to the plan. And one of my concerns is not so much Thanksgiving. We're taking the RV to go see my daughter in North Carolina. And she basically eats the same way anyway. So it's the traveling there. There was such a habit of driving and nibbling while you're driving. And, so it's more about breaking the habits and kind of pushing that off. My husband is going through withdrawal. And then he said, well, we used to bring, and he went through like 5-6 different things. And I looked at him and I said, that's why we're unhealthy. You just went down the list of why we shouldn't be eating like that, And so I'm finding things for him, that he can, eat. I said, you don't have to do what I'm doing, but he wants to maintain his health. And he may need to lose 10 pounds at most, but it's more about health. He's older and we want the longevity, the both of us. And so it's really the challenge now.
You want the
driving.
You want the quality of life.
Absolutely.
There's
so
quantity.
far he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's really, and we want to keep it that way,
Good.
But it's the driving now. It's having that mindset of, one of the greatest things is not having something in between, because it takes the guesswork out of, what can I nibble on, or what, celery stick or something that's ultimately going to lead to something else anyway.
Right.
So it's, having that 3 times. And I tried the, I forgot who made them. They were the muffins, the banana with the oats and everything. So I tried that because I had the oven on all day. And that came out very nice. That I think will be
I saw that on Facebook. It was
actually
egg.
Very nice.
It was like 1 egg and
1 banana, 1 egg, 2 ounces of oats, You put that all together and then put it in muffin.
Oh, and then put peanut butter, 1 ounce of peanut butter on top.
After it cools, you can put a little bit of peanut butter on the top.
Well,
So yeah,
They were calling them pucks.
Pucks.
yeah, the pucks. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And just driving and eating, they don't go together. Like I don't drive and eat because how am I going to, everything that I eat is a meal. Why
You
wouldn't
can't burn it off.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't I pull over to eat that? How am I going to eat a salad while I drive, right? But
right.
all that
and I think it's just having it ready, making the time to pull over, have lunch.
Yep.
And just the preparedness,
Exactly. There was something you said that I was going to say something. Oh. I said I'll remember. Oh, I know. If you want those roasted veggies to go a little further, maybe if you get like bags of baby carrots. So I love baby carrots. So I'll get like a 2-pound bag of baby carrots, steam them, put them in a container in the fridge. If you start your meal with a handful of those, because they weigh a lot, and then put your roasted veggies on top of that, it weighs a lot more than a handful of greens. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that would be one way to stretch it, and they're fairly inexpensive, or it doesn't have to be baby carrots. It's just that they're all washed and cut. But I mean, you can
ready to go.
Yeah, or you can just get the regular carrots, and I like to peel carrots because they look brighter when you peel them.
Right.
People say like, oh, you don't peel them. The peel is really healthy. It's just like, but they just look like a pretty orange when you take that outside off.
They are beautiful color.
Yeah, and then I just dice them up, or I put them in like stick size, and then steam them all. Just cut them so that they're all generally the same size, so they'll cook. And then just steam them Instant Pot, 1 minute in the Instant Pot, and they're done. And that's that they weigh a lot, so you get a lot of meals out of it.
I think I'm going to have to mix that in for hubby.
Yeah.
He eyes up that tray. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, because they're heavy. I'm trying to think of other veggies that are heavy. Even the cabbage.
Sauteed zucchini. If you saute zucchini, if you roast it, it gets a little light, but sauteed, it's pretty heavy because I use that a lot too.
Zucchini and peppers and onions is what I've been going crazy with. But I think over the lettuce, we always have one of the huge things of the spring mix. So
good.
I might be able to convince him to put them on his salad, make them go further.
Yeah. Good.
I think it's good too, all of the veggies, to steam some and roast some and put them together, because the steamed ones are heavier, and you still get that, like you're getting the gold, every other bite.
Exactly. It's a treat. Yeah.
And cabbage is a good one too. Very inexpensive.
I love cabbage. Steamed cabbage, yes.
Yeah, steamed cabbage with mustard, delicious.
Oh, with mustard. I've never done that. I always do parsley on it, but mustard sounds good.
Yeah,
Lulu has a video out there about her.
Okay.
It's called The Best Cabbage Recipe Ever.
Ooh, I'll have to find that.
Oh my God.
I did make
it's like a year
squash
old
the other night.
Oh, did you?
That was delicious.
Yeah.
I love spaghetti squash anyway, but that was wonderful.
Yep. Good. Very good. You're doing great, Marie.
So thank you,
I'm
everyone.
glad you're with us. And I'm glad
Me too.
hubby's doing it too, that you both have the same idea. Like,
I feel very fortunate, that I don't have to make separate foods or fight with him over.
Yep. And let's just work on the quality of our life.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Good for you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Yep, you. Yep, Sarah C.
Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting.
How are you?
It's good to see all of you. I haven't been here in
I know it. I remember you. I remember you. You haven't been here for a while.
Well, and I've had to work on Thursdays, and so I thought, well, even though I finished at like 5:20, I thought I'm gonna still hop on.
Good.
So here I am, and what was I going to say? I don't know. But it's so good to be here, and I do remember when I first, and I've had cataract surgery, and so I've gone through some pain things too. And when I first came on here, Lulu, after watching your videos and you dancing in the sun and on the sand and all that stuff, I dropped going off white flour bread, I dropped weight, just boom. It was like 7 pounds. And then I stopped watching and I purchased white bread, and I don't know, a couple of months, but I can just feel the sluggishness coming on. And I'm thinking, well, why did I do that? And it's funny because just before I went on with you, I got a text message from my 30-year-old son in Miami saying, Mom, you need to totally get off gluten because it's causing your migraine headaches. I'm like, he never texts me ever about food. He doesn't text me that much anyway, but I don't know so much about gluten, but I do know it was more work figuring out the complex carbohydrates, or you call it a grain, like the sweet potatoes or the potatoes. But I think the end results are so much better. Like the white flour, it just doesn't make me feel good.
No.
So I'm here post-surgery and all this other stuff. And just had to say hi.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I hope your surgery was successful and that you're healing well.
I'm getting glasses for near and intermediate vision. And I was just watching your video of you and Purple Renee and Luann and is it Lisa?
Laura.
Like giving your recap.
Oh, our recap.
And it just was, yeah. But it's just wonderful. And I just love watching you and your attitude about life and everything. So it's so good. And it's really good to be here. And here I am.
Oh,
so I'm inspired.
Glad you're
I'm
back.
inspired to get back on the bus.
Good. Back on the bus. Yep.
Yeah.
The Bozo bus.
The Bozo. Yeah, the Bozo bus. And you know what? The one person, I can't remember her name, was saying that her friend called it a fanatic. And, the root word of fanatic is fan. Say, yep, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of LULU'S, right? And it serves me well. So, anyway, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you everybody, gets it in their own timing, and your timing is that, you had to play around with the loaf of white bread and then you realized that it's just not serving you well. And you want to...
Well, yeah. And it's not that big of a deal of cutting up the potatoes or the sweet potatoes. It's just...
Rice is delicious, and quinoa is delicious, and sweet potatoes, and Yukon gold potatoes. Yeah, they're all just, they're perfect. The rice cakes are good, and
there are so many options.
There's so many options. Yep.
I just am embracing it again, and...
Good.
Yeah. It hasn't been that long that I've been off doing that. I think when I was in pain, I was just like, oh, whatever,
Yeah.
But that makes the pain worse.
Yes. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're back. Nice to have you.
It really helps me to tune in.
Yeah,
so
good.
Thank you.
Good. Nice to have you. Nice to have you.